This is a message from your guides reading for Human Angel. Okay, so I have 2 crystals here, and then I have my dragon, which is for the group this week. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and surround us in some positive space with my sunstone here. Okay, so it feels like there's already almost, it feels like a stable kind of energy. It just feels like stability in a sense. That's kind of coming towards you. At the same time, it almost kind of feels like it's being expressed in a way, like out of your energy field. But it feels like your energy is kind of just starting to feel kind of more stable and solid, but it also feels like this is something that is going to kind of continue. So it feels like it's starting, and it feels like it's starting very energetically. Okay, all right. So especially since they're saying that this is having to do with some of the things that you were talking about in your most recent email, where you were saying that you've been kind of in more of a routine. It feels like that's extremely beneficial, because one of the things that you've kind of struggled with, knowingly or unknowingly, and I know they have brought this up before, but they haven't really brought it up in every single reading. But in general, and I feel like kind of throughout your life, one of the things that you've kind of struggled with has been that your energy field was so open, and naturally so, because of the gifts that you had, and you kind of had to learn to close off. So that's the thing. When you're in more of a kind of routine, it's like your energy learns to not only to do that, to like do that temporarily, but it learns almost like it has to do that. It becomes like a thing that your energy just knows, okay, it's time to close off now. Now it's time to open. It really depends on what you're doing. So your guides are putting it almost like a sleep cycle, almost like, okay, I'm up now at this time, and now I go to sleep, and your body is in kind of this natural rhythm. And it's kind of the same with your energy body when it comes to like what chakras are going to open up more or close more, or just your energy in general. It feels like it can even be coming from your mental or your emotional body, though, for some reason. Where they're more open than usual, or even to certain things, it feels like, or certain like energies or even concepts or ideas, where they should be more closed off. Let's say an energy is coming towards you that it the for instance they're giving is almost like, it feels like an energy that's almost kind of putting you down or putting you in your place or something like that. Okay, so let's say that an energy like that, with a current like that, is coming towards you, maybe from a person. It could be a thought form. Either way, it's a thought form, but maybe it's your thought form, or maybe it's a thought form from someone else, and they're thinking it towards you or feeling it towards you. So maybe your mental body or your emotional body or maybe even your energy body is more open to like a certain frequency, for instance. It could be that, or it could be other beliefs or concepts, you know, emotions, ideas that come towards you. And some of them you more agree with than others. Like, let's say a financial fear or something like that comes towards you. So you get the point. It's like some concepts you might be more open to than others. And so even in that sense, it's like you've learned to, you're just learning to close off really to anything that's coming towards you. And obviously this is a subconscious thing, because it's more your subconscious that does that, but at the same time, it's been you consciously influencing your subconscious to learn to do that. So it's been you consciously directing yourself to do that. So it feels like this is like a really good pattern to be in. And it feels like patterns help. And they're saying that a lot of times we get lost in like really negative patterns. And so it's like we're used to patterns, whether they're negative or positive. People are used to doing the same things all the time. Even if it's something like I have a coffee every morning at this time, or even just in the morning, not at a specific time other than just it's in the morning. I always have a coffee in the morning. That's not the best habit to have. It doesn't necessarily serve someone, probably not, but they're doing it because it's habitual, and your mind is used to a pattern of doing certain things in. Whether it's worrying about a certain thing or being positive about another certain thing, it's used to having certain reactions about certain things in certain ways, both negative and positive. It's used to reacting to some things in a positive way, some things in a negative way, some things in a neutral way, and it's always going to do that unless something shifts in that specific area, and then all of a sudden it'll start thinking something different. But they're saying that it's all a habitual thing. And they're saying that you can see that with actions as well. You can see how habitual people are and how habitual people have become by the level that they also do that in their physical life through physical actions. Because obviously your mental and your emotional and your energy body, it's reflected through your physical body. So if you have different beliefs, you're going to act on those beliefs physically or not act out of those beliefs physically. They're saying that a lot of what you do is actually the reverse. It's not acting out of a lot of the beliefs you have. Not everything, but they're saying, they're actually saying that that's actually the more common thing that you do would be not acting on something out of beliefs that you have rather than actually acting in a negative way. But they're saying, of course, that's also an action as well, to not act. It just doesn't seem like one, or it seems like the reverse of one. But at the same time, it's like they're saying that you have to review beliefs. You have to allow them to surface, and you have to remove them and kind of allow a shift to occur. And then when you do act, you're stepping into a new energy, and you're going to attract things based off that. So you can act out of fears as well, just like you can decide not to act out of fears. So it's better to remove a belief entirely. So sometimes when it comes to actions, like for instance, the job, like you were asking about in the email, it's like it's better to remove certain things first. On the one hand, you don't want to be there, but on the other hand, it's like you're going to attract something else out of that. Almost like if you act too fast. So the thing that's most important for you is removing certain things. And they're saying that you do that by noticing those certain things. And the thing is, when you're in a pattern, a good pattern, since your mind is so used to being in patterns, when you get yourself in a good pattern, then you're going to reflect that. You're going to reflect that energetically if you put yourself in a good physical pattern or a good mental or emotional pattern. So all of these bodies affect one another, but habits that you're in definitely really affect you. They affect everybody. So it's important to know what your habits are. It's important to increase the good ones while at the same time find the negative ones and what they're out of. Find what they are out of. So is something from you, or is it from a thought form that you have, or maybe it's coming to you from someone else? So when you're closing off, because of your gifts and how sensitive you are and empathic you are, and how like open that can cause you to be to so many other people and circumstances in their life that you're not even aware of, and energies that they're picking up on as well that they're not aware of. So it's almost like you can even be almost like a second or third empath in a way, like almost like, well, this came to this person from this other person and now you're picking up on it, kind of idea there. So a lot of that isn't even theirs, and you end up picking up on that as well, and you end up picking up on these charged emotions. So let's say that now you're in this habit where you're closing yourself off more. Well, you're going to end up more in tune with yourself automatically. So they're saying, so you're asking about how to be in your own energy, but what you're already doing will actually automatically put you in your own energy, because that's the point of it. You're going to find more and more that you are in your own energetic space. Even if it seems like that maybe these exercises are relying on something else, they're saying that we all use tools and it's still innately out of our own energy. We're still doing it ourselves. But they're saying that you can end up tweaking it later or doing it differently later. But the point is, for now, that habits are good, that this is good. To be in this habit, that this is really serving you, that this is doing what you want. Okay, so that is all that they have to say for this reading. So thank you very much for allowing me to do this reading for you, and I will see you next week. Namaste.